Support Laneside. Get something cool.
Hey everybody, and welcome to this special episode of Laneside Reviews, where today we're going to be talking about the new SwitchGrip NX. We're going to talk about installation, how it's pretty simple, but there are a few things that you need to know when you're drilling your thumb for the first time. We're also going to go through all the steps that we go through when we install a thumb, so we can give you any tips and tricks that we might know. So there's no better time than to jump in right now. So let's go down to the press. All right, so you guys can see here we have the new Deviate Intense Collision on the press here, and we're going to be showing you what we do when we drill a thumb for scoops. Now, it's really important for you to use a, we call it a pilot hole, or a smaller holes as you build up to the larger last cut, that 1 1/2 inch hole. If you don't, as the drill bit goes down through the different material, it can get kind of pushed aside and moved around, and you can get those kind of little warps and round features inside the hole that when you go to put your thumb in, can cause it to bind up and not be as smooth going in and out. This is for any kind of interchangeable thumb that you're putting in. If the more that you get that deviation as it's going down, the more the thumb is going to fit weird. So what we always tell people to do, and what we do, is we actually drill small holes, sometimes even starting with the actual thumb hole size, and then moving up from that. The smaller the cuts you take out as your bit size gets larger, the less the bit has a chance to deviate and cause those deviations in the walls. Now, sometimes it does still happen, and you can pick up, let's see it here, Turbo makes a really cool little kit here for sanding specifically these larger holes to take care of those deviations if they happen. But really we want to try to avoid those by using smaller cuts. So let's start with Scoops here, down on the press. He has a 61/64 starting size for his thumb. So we're going to use that as our pilot hole. Sometimes I will go smaller. I will start as low as a 25-32 hole and move all the way up to my 1 1/2 bit. So let's go. This is going to get loud, so the sound's going to cut out here periodically. We'll put some nice music in here so you can listen along as we cut some thumb hole. Now you'll probably notice that every time I went down a little bit, I wasn't pushing really hard on the ball, and I was also going down a little bit and pulling out. Pushing down, coming up and down. What we want to do is we want to clear that material as best we can. Sometimes our vacuum here won't get out as much material as we'd like, and we want that hole to be clear so that it's not pushing that bit around and already starting with that deviation. It also keeps the heat down when we're drilling. Because we're doing these little cuts on top of each other, we're actually keeping the total heat of the area down, which helps keep cracking down when you're looking at balls' longevity. So let's jump in here, and we're going to go to another size here. We started with his thumb. You can see it's on the cut. Now we're going to move up here, and we're just going to keep going with sizes until we hit the 1 1/2. Now something that's great about these switch grips is they have a specific depth. It's built into the stopper. Whether you're using an NX or you're doing an original one, you're always going to the same depth. But that means that you can drill a little deeper below that hole to create more performance in your ball. Some of the other grip systems that lock in the bottom, you just can't do that because you can't drill them deeper. Let's jump up another size here. I like to do these in 5 to 6 cuts, depending on the size of the thumb. Like I said, it keeps the heat down. It makes the hole very, very smooth. Not a lot of deviation in core. It makes the installation really easy. Last bit we're rolling into, and this is my SwitchGrip bit. This is the same one that I use for my regular SwitchGrips, my regular SwitchGrip, as well as the NX. They are both the same depth, so you don't have to change any tools when you're going to install these. So I just put my bit in. You'll see it has a stopper on it here. That depth is set for everybody when they get their SwitchGrip. So as long as nobody changes the depth of this collar here, everyone's SwitchGrip will always be the same depth, which means no matter where you go to get your SwitchGrip installed, you'll always be able to get the same depth, the same feel, the same everything from SwitchGrip to SwitchGrip. It's the way it's intended to be. So let's get this last hole done here, and we'll talk more about the NX. Okay, so we've done the same hole that we do for a regular SwitchGrip. And I just happen to have two different SwitchGrips right here. Now right here you can see this is the original SwitchGrip. These have been around for 20 plus years. Boy, they've been around a long time, haven't they? Well, for the last decade, they've been working on this. This is the new NX. Now, it doesn't look like much, but there's a couple of really important features that make these two different. Now, when you look at the original SwitchGrip, I have literally my very first SwitchGrip that I drilled right here. And unfortunately, you can see I recently, well, it finally broke a tab on it. These tabs were fabulous for locking them into the system. But if they broke, well, they no longer locked into your thumb. And if you've ever thrown one without a lock in it, well, you know it sucks if they come out and you lose them. Now, there were ways to fix it. You could put a small piece of tape around the top and try to snug it in more, but it still created a little bit of play up and down as well because it wasn't fully locked in. Well, SwitchGrip was aware of that. They listened to the pros, they listened to the players, and Turbo said, if we're going to have the best SwitchGrip on the market, we need to evolve. So those little tabs were replaced by this meaty monster. Look at those side tabs. Now, one of the things I like about this, I'm going to pull out my old handy hammer here, okay? Way, way more sturdy. If I did that, since I don't use my thumb anymore, you can already see, if I can get it in focus here, that it's already started to form with 3 hits. Okay? How many times did we hit that one? It didn't even move. They're beefier. The locking system, the area that it goes into, has more area, surface touching face to face, which means less movement, less chance of it breaking. Now, there's something else we need to talk about. It has 2 locks in it. So when you spin it, it has one that it goes past, and then a second final lock to lock it in place. This means that even if you forget to lock it fully into place, it's not going to spin out of your thumb. It's not going to fall out. So it's got a safety lock so that you don't have to worry about losing a thumb in the event of an emergency. Now this does pose a little problem when you're installing them. And you're going to want to think about this. When you go to put your very first undrilled slug into a new customer's ball, you're going to want to make sure that you have one of these SwitchGrip rubber grip pads, or a set of vice grips, or something to grab onto this to make sure it's locked into place fully. Because they're not drilled, they're a little harder to get locked in the first time, which, I mean, isn't a bad thing. I definitely know I'm not going to lose my thumb, but for some pro shop people, you're going to want to make sure it's really, really locked in there before you start drilling it. So let's throw this insert outer in, and we're going to talk about one more important thing. There we go. Now, we've drilled this, and you can see this basically, I can just hand push this in. But we're going to rough this up. Roughing up the outside here, make sure that the glue adheres to it, keeps it in place. I'll talk one more thing about these slugs. Take a look at the bottom of the new SwitchGrip slugs compared to the originals. Notice a difference in that hole size there? Well, I'm not too proud to admit, when I first started drilling these, I drilled through the bottom of one of my slugs. It can happen really easily. You get talking to somebody, you're coming down through, you've got a thumb size bigger than about a 5/8, and suddenly you see a little bit of red shard come up because you've drilled through the plastic bottom. You really have to try to do that on this one. I'll show a picture here right now. This is one here, the very first one of these I did, and as I was saying, I was talking and not paying attention, and you can see I drilled through the bottom of it. But because there's no locking mechanism there, it's moved out to the sides, I didn't damage the slug. This is actually Nick's regular slug. It still locks perfectly fine. All the mechanism being on the outside means that this is a perfectly good slug, even if you screw up. So this gives you more chance as a pro shop operator to be able to drill and not have to worry as much. Now, as we said, Scoops has a 61/64 size thumb. So if you miss with a bigger thumb than that, you're going to start drilling into some bad stuff. So be careful, but you do have more room to miss now. All right, so I just grabbed some 180 grit paper here, and I'm just going to give it a little turnaround, just to rough it up here. And I'm going to grab my Turbo Slow Zip glue, and you just need just a little bit, just a little line. More glue is not good specifically. I will tend to, if I get a little drip, I'll spread it around a little bit. You just don't want the glue, too much glue in there. It's bad for the cover stock because the way that it catalyzes, it'll heat up. It could cause cracking. Now check this out. I don't know if you can see it here. They still have the line for lining it up, so it's easier to install your SwitchGrip. You just have to put it on your line here and tap it on in. Line this sucker up, and we're just gonna... All right. So, installed just like a regular SwitchGrip. Nothing different here. With the mechanism on the side, however, we know that if there's a little bit of debris in that hole from when we drilled it out, even if we didn't get it out with the vacuum, or some debris that might fall when we're cutting this down, we don't have to worry about it getting caught up in the mechanism. It's along the side. It's such a long area that it doesn't affect it. So no gumming up, no weird clicking, none of that. So if you're looking for the next generation of SwitchGrip, look no further. Easy installation with no extra tools, better function, better mechanism, more room to miss, make a mistake, and it will take the impact of your bowling so you're not going to have to worry about losing a thumb while you're at a tournament or an event. Well, I'm just going to finish this up by cutting this down. I'm going to make sure that Scoops' new thumb fits in the hole. We're going to take it down to the lanes. Let's go back. There's one more thing I wanted to talk about before I went, and that's my favorite tool when I'm here in the shop. It's my paring knife. Go figure, right? Check this out. So when we're cutting down the switch grips here, we always end up with that little lip that's in here. A lot of people will use a sander. Some people will use an X-Acto knife. A lot of different things to cut that down. But you got to remember that there's a little bit of a taper at the top of the hole here that holds the switch grip really firm at the top. That's why we can put a piece of tape in it if an older one gets wiggly to kind of shore it up so it doesn't move. So a paring knife, just an old, you can see an old paring knife here, has just enough blade to cut that piece of plastic out, but not enough blade to damage the inner. This way you get a nice clean cut, but you don't have to worry about damaging the diameter of it or changing how the switch grip fits in it. Okay, so I'm back here. I've got Scoops' thumb, and you can see what I'm talking about. I drilled through the bottom of this thing compared to the regular one. You can see it's a little mushroomed there, just a little bit, but it still works. Because the mechanism is farther out here, there's less on the bottom. Oh, his thumb's so small. You see it drops in. Click, click. Beautiful. That thing, it does not move in that outer there. It is locked tight and it is not coming up. It is not stretching. It is not moving. That is fantastic. And that is the new NX. Let's take it down the lane, see what Scoops can do with it.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a show. So until next time, we'll see you laneside.